If you haven't already, watch part 1 first as it provides important context to this video. If you have already seen part 1, just as a quick reminder, this is beating Terraria with only yellow weapons, tools, accessories, and armor, and the challenge is complete once I defeat the Moon Lord. In part 1, we defeated the Wall of Flesh. Now it is time to go all the way through hard mode to defeat the Moon Lord. Enjoy watching.
Alright, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to all who's watching. Welcome back to Yellow Only. It's time to finish this series once and for all.
Now that I've entered hard mode, there are a few things that I can accomplish right off the bat. One of the things that I can do is upgrade my phase blade to a phase saber. So, after I go into the underground hallow and start mining up some crystal shards, I then take it over to the anvil to try to craft a yellow phase saber. However, that recipe was recently changed to where I now need a mithril anvil to do it. So I instead take some time to go fishing. If you are confused as to why I'm using a wooden fishing pole, I explained this in part 1, but since there's only one yellow fishing pole in the game, the golden fishing pole, I allowed myself to use the wooden fishing pole until I get the golden fishing pole, because using logic I should be able to craft a wooden fishing pole out of palm wood. Oh, and I'm gonna go ahead and say this, but brace yourself for a lot of fishing for the first part of this video, as there is an armor upgrade that I can get that is yellow, but that requires some adamantite or titanium, which at the moment I can only obtain through fishing. I spend a lot of time fishing at the ocean for hours hoping to get mithril and titanium crates, as those are the only crates that I can get titanium or adamantite out of.
I have one.
Feeling a bit bored of fishing in the game, I then decided to summon a blood moon, as there is a yellow weapon that I can get from clowns, and that yellow weapon is the banana ring, a very formidable weapon that will carry me through the mech bosses and maybe even farther. I spend a lot of time killing clowns, but it's still very dangerous because the funny bombs can hit me through walls, so I die a few times until I realize that I can just stand over to the side so that way the bombs don't hit me.
Ring, buddy. I don't think he did. Yellow weapon. Darn it!
I killed plenty of clowns in that blood moon, but unfortunately none of them dropped out the banana ring. I did, however, get another bloody tear, so I can try again another night.
Yeah, you see that?
I then spend some time doing some more fishing because I can get titanium and adamantite, but I can also do fishing quests so that way I can get an upgraded fishing rod, the golden fishing rod. With that in my hands, I would be able to get adamantite and titanium much faster.
Alright, buddy, give me something good. High-test fishing line. That would be nice if I could use that, but for the time being, I'm just going to put it in this other slot here. However, I'm never going to use that slot. What I want is the KO cannon. Yeah, I want the KO cannon. Oh! Bruh! I was trying to do reverse psychology and it gives me a KO cannon!
After failing to utilize reverse psychology, I then get blown up by another clown because I was stupidly too close to the edge, and then the blood moon ended without me getting a hold of a banana ring. However, I did once again get another bloody tear. So I spend the rest of the day doing some fishing quests and fishing for some crates. This becomes a long rinse and repeat cycle. I do fishing at the ocean, I head back home to open the crates, I do not get adamantite or titanium, and then during the night I summon another blood moon, hoping that I can get my hands on a banana ring. It took a long time, but at long last, one of the clowns that I killed dropped out a banana ring. A very formidable weapon that is good against most hard mode enemies as soon as you enter hard mode. I then do some reforging on it and get demonic, which is the second best prefix that I could have gotten for it. Then I head back to fishing, as usual, because I still am hoping to get some adamantite and titanium. If you haven't figured it out already, the armor set that I'm going for is the Forbidden Armor set. Although it has some black in it, it is mostly yellow and has a unique set bonus that I want to try out because I think it would be good on some of the mech bosses. So I continue the rinse and repeat cycle of sleeping during the day hoping to get another fishing quest, and fishing in between to finish those quests and get some crates.
I kind of hope he gives me a... Like, he wants a fish that I already caught in my piggy bank.
This fishing quest was uniquely hard to figure out how to do because there was no surface pond in my world. I had to find a little pond that was somehow underground yet counted as the surface at the same time. However, I kept getting the wrong type of fish, so I wasn't able to finish this fishing quest. I then decided to go fishing in the desert, as there was a chance that I could get a sandstorm to spawn so I can kill some sand elementals and get forbidden fragments. But I could also fish up oysters, and if I get a pink pearl out of an oyster, I can shimmer it into a galaxy pearl, which will increase my luck. I do not get a pink pearl, but I do get a black pearl. I then do some fishing over in the Crimson as well. After I turn in that fishing quest, I then spend some more time fishing at the ocean during the rain. So far in hard mode, the only thing I have accomplished is achieving a banana ring. I have not done anything else other than fish and get almost absolutely nothing out of the crates. This is gonna take a long time, I say to myself, but I nonetheless progress forward and continue to do fishing quests until I get the golden fishing rod. Also, I lost some of the footage behind the scenes, but off camera I killed a few sand elementals to get forbidden fragments. However, I only got 2, so I need to kill 1 more.
Realize something. Let me go to my ores and bars chest and grab out the palladium, because apparently the palladium drill actually has some yellow on it.
I discussed this behind the scenes with one of my fans, but the palladium drill is yellow enough to where I can use it, meaning I'll be able to progress much faster and get a mithril anvil earlier on. I then summon the pirates to hopefully get a pirate staff because the pirate staff is one of the only yellow summon weapons that I can get at this stage of the game, and it would be a direct upgrade to my hornet staff. It's also helpful because the forbidden armor is a mage and summon set, so I'd be able to get a bonus out of it as well.
There's one. Alright, let me kill this captain first, then I'll go kill the Flying Dutchman. Hey, let's go kill it. Whoa, jeez. Dang it!
The Flying Dutchman turned out to be harder than I was expecting it to be, so I had to hide on top of my tree as I attacked it with my banana ring. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to hit all the cannons, and it kept spawning pirates, especially the archers and parrots who managed to keep killing me non-stop. So I ended up dying lots and lots.
Ow. Dang it! Okay, it's almost dead, it's almost dead. Die! Okay, I killed it. Did it drop anything out? Did I get anything in this,
To answer that question, no, I did not get anything in this invasion. I didn't get the pirate staff nor the lucky coin, which is also another yellow accessory, so it turned out to be a complete waste of time. So, I went back to fishing. Hopefully, enough to where I could get the golden fishing rod, and this process of getting titanium and adamantite would go by much faster.
Ooh, titanium bars! Nice.
One of the fishing quests that I completed gave me a bottomless water bucket, which allowed me to create a giant lake in the tundra biome. This is really helpful for a lot of reasons, so I can get frozen quests done.
Golden fishing rod, please.
While I was fishing, I opened some crates and got 2 enchanted sundials. So, I brought one of them over to the shimmer biome and shimmered it into an enchanted moondial. Now I can skip 1 whole day and 1 whole night consecutively.
More titanium!
After getting bored of fishing for a while, I realized that I didn't have the only yellow mount that I can get in this series, and that is the honeyed goggles from Queen Bee. So, I spent some time killing her over in the jungle, hopefully getting a hold of the honeyed goggles.
A fan of Queen Bee. Yes! Ooh, actually I should keep this honeycomb because I can make the bee cloak later on. But I finally got the mount. And honestly, that's gonna be a big game changer.
With the honeyed goggles, I have an extra set of mobility if I lost my wing and rocket boot set time. So I go do some fishing in the ocean for some titanium and mithril crates, but then I get bored of that very quickly, so I head over to the Crimson to smash some Crimson altars now that I have a palladium drill and I can get a hold of a mithril anvil easily.
And titanium. Dang it! Oh well.
With the altars smashed, I quickly go mining for some orichalcum so I can upgrade my anvil. With that upgrade, I would be able to upgrade my phase blade and be able to craft myself my first pair of wings, the fairy wings, and I would also be able to craft some of the forbidden armor set. I upgrade my Hell Forge to a Titanium Forge, and with the titanium and forbidden fragments in my inventory, I craft the Forbidden Mask, the first part of the forbidden armor set. Then I grab my crystal shards out of the chest and upgrade my yellow phase blade into a yellow phase saber. And now I'm gonna do a jump cut because I lost a big part of the footage behind the scenes. I managed to get a hold of the rest of the forbidden armor set, I got a hold of some fairy wings, and I got a hold of a pirate staff. If you don't believe me, well, too bad. The set bonus of the forbidden armor set is to summon a sand tornado at the location of your cursor. This will be really helpful against bosses like the Destroyer who will take massive damage wherever the sand tornado is located.
Fairy wings.
Night, I began preparations for my first mechanical boss, the Destroyer. However, I will quickly figure out that Terraria had other plans for me. With the golden fishing rod that I obtained off camera, I did some fishing in the underground jungle for variegated lardfish. That way I can have more pirates out at once. And then I was ready to battle my first mechanical boss, and Terraria decided to throw something else at me.
Never mind, we're gonna do Skeletron Prime. Dead. He is so dead. Yeah! Woo! I was not expecting to take him down on the first night, but oh well.
With my first mechanical boss dead, I'm now able to access my next upgrade when it comes to yellow tools and armor, the Hallowed gear. I craft a Hallowed repeater and an Excalibur. Both of these weapons are yellow and they are very formidable against the bosses and enemies at this stage of the game.
Oh wow, that did not take 100! Oh, and I can also use the true Excalibur when I upgrade it. Steampunker! That is really helpful because... She's really helpful because Asphalt is going to be a big game changer in this series. Especially when it comes to bosses like the Twins and Empress of Light.
I checked with the Steampunker to see if she's selling a jetpack, which would be an upgrade to my wings. Unfortunately, it's not the correct moon phase for that. So I instead buy a Blendomatic and craft a lot of asphalt so that way I can create a long platform up in the sky for the Twins and other bosses later in the game. And that night, I got my buffs ready and got ready to fight the Destroyer, the next mechanical boss on my list.
Let's go. Can he reach this? He cannot. Dang, that's destroying him. The tornado? Feels so good to take a leak on the Destroyer, huh? Line up the tornado right there. Yeah! Bro, look at that health bar. Dead. Bro, that was easy. That was very easy. Let's use the moon dial. That way I can get a fresh new night.
Feeling confident after I killed the Destroyer with ease, I use the enchanted moon dial to skip ahead to another night. That way I can battle the Twins with no problem whatsoever. However, I vastly underestimated how difficult they would be, and I vastly overestimated how good my gear is currently against them. I would need to refresh my buffs and grab some better equipment, and this fight does not go very well.
Okay, I got way too cocky there.
With the hallowed bars I obtained from the Destroyer, I began to craft a set of hallowed armor. This set will last me all the way up to the Old One's Army Tier 3, where there will be another yellow armor set, but that's neither here nor there. I then head back to the Aether biome and shimmer my emblem into a Ranger emblem. That way I can utilize the Hallowed Repeater and Unholy Arrows against the twins. This strategy will work, as you will see later on. I then add another layer of platforms to the arena. However, I notice along the way that the floating island above me is starting to get in the way, and this will cause some issues because I will not be able to fly through or over it given my wingspan.
What? Huh. Well, that's not getting to get in the way or nothing. And I can't use that.
After that, I restock on my potions and begin the twins fight. This time, I should be more prepared and have it in the bag.
Alright, let's buff up. And let's get going. I hate getting hit by his freaking fireballs there. Crap. He's in his second form. Okay. Just stay away from him while he does the freaking flamethrower attack and then I'm good. I'm gonna have to loop back around. I was checking to see if he despawned and I gave him time to catch up to me. That was really bad there. Come on, dude, die. Did I kill him? I killed him! Nice. And I did it. All the mech bosses are dead.
With the hallowed bars I attained from the twins, I craft a pickaxe axe. However, I still lack the hallowed bars to craft a full set of hallowed armor, so I end up having to battle another mech boss yet again. But before I do that, I head over to the jungle and drink a spelunker potion. Now that I have a pickaxe axe, I can mine chlorophyte. And now you may be wondering, why am I mining chlorophyte? Isn't that a green ore? Well, yes, but I'm not going to be crafting any tools or armor out of it. Instead, what I'm going to do is upgrade my Excalibur to a true Excalibur. If you didn't know, in the 1.4.4 update, the true Excalibur got buffed. Yes, it did lose its projectile, but it is now an amazing true melee weapon that is actually better than the true Knight's Edge now, in my opinion. In some cases, if you're going for a true melee class playthrough only, it's better than the Terra Blade. Although I do not last very long in the jungle, but I managed to get enough chlorophyte and a few life fruits along the way.
True Excalibur. Wow, I had just enough chlorophyte. And it's shoddy. Time to go do some reforging. That's... wow. Yeah, I think this is the best sword I can get in the playthrough. So, I was aiming for legendary.
That night, I battle Skeletron Prime yet again to get enough hallowed bars for a full set of hallowed armor.
I should not get cocky. Ah! Fuck! The other monsters were getting in my way. What the hell?
After that lame-ass excuse of failing to Skeletron Prime, I summoned the twins instead in order to battle them for their hallowed bars.
I need peace candles or something.
Back at my base, I craft a set of hallowed armor. Now, I have a better yellow armor set that comes with the set bonus of having a dodge effect.
Hallowed armor.
After equipping my new armor set, I retired the forbidden armor set and place it on a mannequin. It was a very unique armor set, and I may try it again sometime in the future. But now, it's on to my next goal, Plan Terra.
Yes! Like here, let me test that. Okay. I'm at 192. Fairy wings get me up to 366. And the jetpack gets me up to... yeah, it's a slight increase. Oh. It can go even higher because I can boost.
The jetpack is the best set of wings that I can get until I defeat the Moon Lord who drops out the Celestial Starboard. So, it'll have to do for the time being.
There you go. Cool. Now I just need the shiny red balloon.
If you didn't realize this, you can actually craft a sandstorm in a bottle with a cloud in a bottle and a forbidden fragment at a crystal ball. But now I need to find the shiny red balloon so that way I can combine it with the sandstorm in a bottle and lucky horseshoe. This will greatly increase my mobility if I can craft a yellow horseshoe balloon.
A celestial magnet? Where's the balloon? This is the one. What? There we go. Alright, and I've still got some time on this, so let's see if there's any more islands or lakes that I missed.
I didn't find anything else up in the sky, so after I sell a few more items, I head over to the Tinkerer's Workshop and craft a yellow horseshoe balloon.
What will I replace it with? Probably the Sweetheart necklace.
After that, I begin Tier 2 of the Old One's army. There isn't really any other yellow upgrades aside from the Explosive Trap Cane, but it is good practice for Tier 3, and the Explosive Trap Cane will be an upgrade and be pretty useful later down the line until I get the staff.
Okay, this is getting a little hairy. Stop killing the thing, wyverns. Draken. No! Respawn faster! Respawn faster! Okay, I need to use the true Excalibur. It's time to bring it out. Gosh darn it!
The Old One's army Tier 2 quickly overwhelmed me, and I was not able to defeat it on the first try. So, I grab a few potions, and then I retry it yet again. This time I'll be more prepared, and this time I'll be able to get farther in the waves.
Yeah, buddy, help me. Okay, I can at least buy the next cane if I don't make it on this next level. Nah, kill it! Yeah! Okay, I killed one ogre. Yeah, the crystal's not gonna survive. That's okay. That's okay. I killed one ogre.
I was unsuccessful on my second attempt, but it went much better, and I managed to get enough defender medals to buy the Explosive Trap Cane. This time, I should be able to have it in the bag. The third time is always the charm, they say.
Let me move. I can't. No! Respawn faster, respawn faster, respawn faster.
It seems like whoever said third time is the charm was lying because I was unsuccessful on my third attempt. But I decide to make a few adjustments to my arena and add a few banners along the way, and then I shimmer my emblem back into a warrior emblem since I'm planning on using the true Excalibur more often. This time, for sure. I'll go ahead and say this right now, but I ended up beating the Old One's army Tier 2 on this attempt. But then my stream started to lag really badly to where you couldn't hear or see anything, so the next few minutes are going to look pretty laggy on the screen. But with the Old One's army Tier 2 down, I then move on to my next goal of battling Plantera. Not after I battle Skeletron Prime yet again for some hallowed bars so I can make some more helmets. Then, I head over to the jungle and begin mining out an area for the Plantera arena.
Alright. I did need to see what the traveling merchant has anyways.
Since I'm so lazy that I don't feel like crafting my own platforms out of wood, I buy some red team platforms from the traveling merchant and then use that for the Plantera arena. Then I make a few more adjustments to the arena, dig around for some life fruit, and then I am on the search for a Plantera bulb.
They made it a guarantee that every time after you defeat the mech bosses, a Plantera bulb will spawn. Aha!
The Plantera bulb wasn't too far from the arena, so I begin mining straight down to the arena so that way I can lure Plantera to it. Then a blood moon starts, so while it's happening, I go on the search for some life fruit because I don't feel like dealing with the extra swarm of enemies that will spawn in the jungle as I'm battling Plantera. This takes quite some time because some life fruit kept showing up on my radar and I was unable to find it for hours. Once I was able to find those annoying little fuckers, I consumed them and then finished my arena off. I then craft a power glove at home only for me to never use it, and then I grab some potions, and then I'm ready to battle Plantera.
Come on down faster, Plantera. You're dead. Woohoo! That was fun.
It was very fun indeed, and it wasn't that hard. Plantera is now defeated. Now I unlocked the hard mode dungeon and the lizard temple. However, I do have one small problem. I have no idea where the lizard temple is because I've barely explored my jungle. So I go on the search for it, and I stumble across a few queen bee hives along the way, so I decide to flex my weapons on queen bee several times over. Shortly afterwards, while I'm exploring to the right side of the jungle, I finally found the Lizard Temple. Golem is an interesting boss in this challenge because Golem typically spawns in a very compact area, which you will see later on, and that's going to cause a lot of issues for me. Not before a moss hornet decided to send me back to the lobby. But I did find a minecart that led me most of the way to the Lizard Temple, so that's pretty convenient. But it is now time to suffer with the Lizard Temple and Golem.
If I had anything else I wanted from Terraria, like the only yellow thing I can get is the wasp gun. But honestly, it's not that good. There we go. Welcome to the temple.
I make my way through the temple, picking up lizard-powered cells and disabling traps along the way. However, this is still a very dangerous place because my weapons and gear are a little underpowered in this stage. So, sometimes I get hit by a few traps and sometimes I end up dying along the way. And I also find a few rooms that are completely swarmed with enemies such as flying snakes and lizards. So, going through the temple alone is a challenge, let alone battling Golem later on.
There's a life crystal in the temple. Alright, here it is.
Shortly afterwards, I found the Golem room. However, the Golem room is not that big, and this is going to cause some major issues down the line. So, prepare to see me struggling with, of all bosses, Golem. I add a top layer platform to the arena, and then I summon him in.
We kill those fists. This is getting hairy. Come on, die. Die, head. Die! Oh, come on. Oh, what the fuck? Dude, I was just minding my own business. Oh my god. Alright, let's go.
My controller disconnected for a brief moment, leading to my death, and the amount of rage that happened off camera was immense. I had never been more angry before in my entire life. At least, that's what I say. That's definitely an exaggeration now that I think about it.
Oh! Why am I slow? Why am I slow? I have no knockback resistance. What? I can't place this in the freaking temple?
I tried to do the endless runway technique in the temple, but then I realized I forgot that you cannot add your own wires to the arena until you defeat Golem. It was becoming quite apparent to me that the inability of having knockback resistance was hurting me down the line. So, I head over to the post-Plantera dungeon to get the only shield that I can use in this challenge, the Paladin's shield. However, that requires me to get a hold of a Paladin, which it may take some time. I do find some useless crap that I can't use like a magnet sphere, and I die quite a few times because the post-Plantera dungeon is very difficult. Eventually, I do find a paladin.
Give me the shield first time, so that way I don't have to go through this again. Yes!
It seems like Terraria wanted to cut me a break and give me what I wanted when I wanted it. So, after obtaining the Paladin's shield, I then reforge it to warding and then set myself with a fully tank loadout so that way I can tank more of Golem's attacks.
Buff up. Please no. Please no. Please no. Yes!
After an intense battle, Golem is finally dead, and next up is the Empress of Light. I'm gonna go ahead and say this, I lost the original footage of me killing her on my first try. So, here's a little replay of how it went, and here's me redoing it later on in the series.
Come on! Okay. Let's dance.
go. I had to use the nurse once, but that's okay.
In the original footage of me battling the Empress of Light, I killed her on my first attempt, and on my first attempt, she gave me the weapon that I was looking for, the Eventide, a very underrated bow, which is mostly yellow, and it will be my main weapon through the end of the game. Not only does it convert wooden arrows into her Empress of Light lances, but it fires multiple arrows at a time, and that makes it on par with the Tsunami. Next up is the Old One's Army Tier 3. Eventually, I will get enough Defender medals so I can buy the final armor set later on, the Valhalla Knight Armor.
Come on. Ah! No!
It doesn't go very well on my first attempt, but there is room for improvement. I make a destroyer emblem with an eye of a golem that I got off camera, and then I switch my hallowed set. And then I decide that I want to try out the desert tiger staff. So I go over to the desert and summon a blood moon in hopes of getting a desert key. However, I'm going to go ahead and say this does not happen. I'm wasting a lot of time here trying to get this damn item, and I never get it. I even foolishly later on summon a solar eclipse, hoping to get a hold of it. However, that only makes it to where I die multiple times.
What? Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah.
After killing Mothron, the solar eclipse shortly ends afterwards. Then I try the Old One's Army Tier 3 yet again, and it goes about as well as it did last time.
What the fuck? What the fuck was that?
Back at my base, I realized that the holy arrows were not cutting it for me. So, with the remaining chlorophyte that I have, I decide to try out chlorophyte arrows. They bounce around and occasionally home in on enemies, so if I spray them around enough, I will eventually be able to take care of the swarms of enemies very easily, and they may even help me later on with some of the bosses as they have a higher base damage than holy arrows.
Do that thing where I focus on one side. That was a stupid idea. Alright, it's Betsy time. This is the first time I've actually ever made it to a Betsy wave. And that crystal is almost dead, so I don't think I'm gonna beat her. But chlorophyte arrows worked. Jeez. I know what to do next time.
That attempt went much better thanks to the chlorophyte arrows. So, I restock on some buffs, add a few more banners, and I even buy the Explosive Trap Staff, which is the final sentry that I can use in this playthrough. I even buy one piece of the Valhalla Knight armor as it increases my life regeneration greatly. So, with all these new upgrades, I am now ready to finally finish the Old One's Army Tier 3.
Alright, Old One's Army Tier 3. Hold on, let me kill that ogre before I kill Betsy. Let me kill that ogre before I kill Betsy. Okay, there you go. Betsy time. Betsy, focus on me. Focus on me, Betsy. Am I about to do it? I did it! I beat the Old One's Army Tier 3.
At long last, the Old One's Army Tier 3 has been defeated. So I pick up Betsy's treasure bag, the remaining Defender medals, and then I head over to the Tavern Keep to buy the rest of the Valhalla Knight set. Also, whatever weapon Betsy drops out I cannot use, as none of her weapons are yellow, aside from the flying dragon, which is debatable.
Boom. The Valhalla Knight armor.
With my final armor set equipped, I am now ready to begin the endgame of Terraria. So, I head over to my potions deck to grab a few potions to prepare myself for the lunatic cultist, and then, without further ado, I summon him.
Alright, lunatic cultist. You're going down. That's the only downside I have to Chlorophyte arrows, is that when they bounce around they can hit the wrong one. I'm about to die. because I got too cocky and my buffs ran out.
Afterwards, I tried the lunatic cultist yet again. I vastly underestimated him on the first attempt, so this time I am better prepared.
Alright, there we go. And this is the right pillar I want to be in. Cool.
Soon after I defeated the lunatic cultist, I spawned in the Stardust pillar. This is really good because the Stardust pillar has the only yellow weapons that I can use at this stage of the game, and that is the Stardust Dragon Staff. However, I am still pretty underpowered when it comes to the lunar events, so I die quite a few times. But eventually I'm getting somewhere. After about 15 minutes, the shield finally fell. Now I hammer it with all I can with my Eventide. However, this is still very dangerous because a few of the Stardust enemies, such as the Milky Way Weavers, are very overpowered, and they don't take much effort to kill me. But shortly afterwards, the pillar finally falls, and I collect the Stardust fragments. Now I can craft the best summon weapon I can in this challenge, the Stardust Dragon Staff. It is a very powerful weapon still to this day, and it gets even stronger the more you summon it. It summons only one minion, but the dragon gets longer. I reforge it to Godly, and then I'm on to my next pillar. The next pillar I went after is the Solar Pillar, and I actually have somewhat of an advantage to this pillar because it spawned right near my giant asphalt platform. This is really good because I can stand on the platform and shoot the enemies coming at me from both sides. Plus, if I don't fly too high, the crawlipedes will not attack me. However, enemies such as the Corites are still very powerful, so I need to be careful. And even though this pillar goes by a little smoother than the last pillar, I still die a few times to the Corites. Eventually, the shield finally falls yet again, and then I hammer the pillar with everything that I got. Eventually, I end up taking it out thanks to my Stardust Dragon Staff. Next up is quite possibly the most annoying pillar in this challenge, the Vortex Pillar. The Vortex Pillar used to be the easiest pillar in my opinion back in the earlier stages of 1.3, but since then it has gotten buffed very dramatically. Enemies such as the Alien Hornets and Alien Queens and the Storm Drivers are very annoying, especially with that gravity effect where you can't fall or fly. And eventually I end up dying many times to this pillar. After many deaths, the shield finally fell, so I equip my Chlorophyte arrows and I hammer the pillar with everything that I can. But it is still very annoying to kill the pillar while dealing with the enemies. Nonetheless, I keep firing at the pillar while dealing with the enemies, and eventually I destroy it. That just leaves one more pillar before the Moonlord spawns in, and that pillar is the Nebula Pillar. So before I kill the Nebula Pillar, I dramatically increase the length of my asphalt arena, and then I am ready to battle the Nebula Pillar. But before I do that, I upgrade some of my healing potions to super healing potions. and then I grabbed some buffs for the Moon Lord. Now I am ready to battle the Nebula Pillar. The Nebula Pillar is the second most annoying pillar in this challenge, thanks to the Nebula Floaters who constantly teleport around and constantly hit me with their very accurate lasers. So, I just spam fire the Chlorophyte arrows everywhere until the shield finally falls. With that in mind, all I have to do is destroy the pillar and the Moon Lord will spawn, and then if I defeat the Moon Lord, the challenge will officially be over.
Alright, it's time.
With the final pillar destroyed, I teleport to my arena, and then I have a brief flashback moment where I remember all the times I have struggled and suffered in this challenge. It has all led up to this moment. Will I win on the first try? Well, let's find out.
Am I about to do it? Oh my gosh. First try! Yes!
To my absolute amazement, I managed to defeat the Moon Lord on my first attempt. And when the credits start rolling, I now realize one thing. The challenge is now officially over. I have beaten Terraria using only yellow weapons. And to all those who wondered, is it possible? Yes, it is definitely possible. It may be difficult in some times, but it is definitely possible.
And our prize is the Celestial Starboard, because that is a pair of wings that I'm allowed to use. Dude, that was much easier than I was expecting it to be.
Not only do I get a final set of wings as my prize, but I also craft a Stardust drill and ham axe as they are mostly yellow. Those are my final tools, and those are my also final prizes.
Haha!
This challenge was really fun to do, and if you really enjoyed watching it, please hit like and subscribe as we are on the road to 1,000 subs, and when we hit 1,000, a new project will be released.
So, the question is, can you beat Terraria with only the color yellow? The answer is yes, most definitely. It may be hard in some areas, but it's definitely possible. Santa! Oh my god! We've been through so much hell in this series. We've struggled with the Goblin Army. We dealt with many Eye of Cthulhu pre-boss summons. We've been through hell and back, literally. We struggled with fishing, like trying to get the freaking Forbidden set. We struggled with Gollum of all bosses. We fought the mech bosses. We killed the Empress of Light first try. I wasn't expecting to do that. We also defeated the Old One's army, tier 3 too. And lastly, we defeated the Moon Lord on the first try. All the NPCs are cheering for me. And there it is. We did it. So everyone, thank you so much for tuning into this series, or this playthrough. This was really a lot of fun. I never thought that my channel would come this far. We are very close on hitting 1,000 subs, and once we hit 1,000 subs, I will be releasing a new type of series, which y'all will be able to contribute to. I'll release more info once we hit the 1,000 subs. So if you've liked this video and you want to help out the channel a lot, please hit subscribe and like this video and share it with all of your friends. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and you have a great day. Goodbye.